Well, hello. Thanks for watching this training video. I am actually using part of the setup that I'm going to recommend to you in this training video. So in watching this, you'll be able to kind of get an idea of really one of the higher end setups. Now, the focus of this training is not going to be so much on content. It's not going to get into any like legal or public affairs stuff. That's really not my expertise. And in a later video, I'll try and bring in some subject matter experts that can kind of speak to those things. But for today, I just want to briefly, I don't want this to go too long because just sitting there staring at a screen while some guy talks is probably not your idea of a good time. I just want to briefly talk about a few options for you if you want to start streaming and recording content for your unit. Because let's be real, what COVID-19 has done for UMTs is finally force us into the 21st century and in particular into the social media age. For years, that has been where our soldiers have had their eyeballs, and many of us have not done a good job of engaging in that medium. And so when coronavirus hit, we were forced to engage there. Now, a caveat. As you're watching this right now, you may still find it very difficult to get some of the equipment that I'm going to recommend. Because once this hit, all of a sudden everybody went out and bought up all the webcams and all the recording equipment and basically anything needed to stream content on the internet. They went out and bought it all from Best Buy and Amazon and B&H and Adorama and all these major online retailers. So some of the stuff I'm going to recommend to you may be hard to find. But for the first recommendation, I'm willing to bet that you have a smartphone. In fact, let me go get my smartphone. There it is, right? Looks familiar, looks probably a lot like the one you have in your pocket right now. Mine's an iPhone 11 Pro, but really if you have any kind of smartphone that has been released in the last 2 or 3 years, you're going to be able to put out some pretty decent content. Now, I sent out an article, and I'm going to basically follow the outline in that article. It's this one that says it's time to up your recording streaming game. And the very first setup that I want to talk to you about is just your phone. That's right, just your phone. You don't need any fancy equipment to start streaming or start recording. You can just use the phone that you have on your desk or in your pocket right now. If you want to record a Facebook Live video, you can just hold your phone out in front of you and go live and start talking and start recording. It's a little bit awkward, but a lot of people do it. And for some content, that's really fine. Now, if you're wanting to get a more professional, more polished look, that holding your phone out in front of you probably isn't the way to do it. But if you're just like putting out a word of the day or you had an inspiration on the spot and you want to get it out there, man, just grab your phone and go. Your phone's going to record decent video and it's going to record decent audio all by itself. Where it might have some struggles is depending on your signal quality. So wherever you record, if you're going live, make sure you have good signal quality. If you want to check it, go to your app store and search for Speed Test and download that app, and it'll test your signal or your connection speed. That'll give you a good idea of if you're going to be able to maintain a good, strong video signal. If you don't have that, your audio and your video will be pixelated and out of sync, and nobody will want to watch it. So the second setup, and this is again, you're basically still just using your phone. And believe it or not, you can even edit video on your phone. If you don't want to record something live, you want to record a video and then edit it and upload it later on, you can download an app. On my phone, I've got an iPhone, I use iMovie for that. If you've got an Android phone, I'm sure you can find a video editing app in the App Store or the Play Store. And you can just record a video, trim off the ends of it, maybe add an intro or outro effect, and just upload that thing. You can do that all on your phone. No other equipment necessary. But for setup number 2, If you want to go beyond just holding your phone in your hand or setting it on your desk kind of awkwardly, because let's be honest, some folks, they set that phone on their desk and they stand up over it and you get this really weird look like you're looking up their nose. You don't want that. Hold it out at eye level if you're going to do that. But step up your game a little bit with setup number 2 and get yourself a tripod. A lot of tripods now have a little phone holder that screws onto the top of it, and you set your phone on there at eye level, you hit record, and you go. And you can do live videos with that, you can do pre-recorded and edited videos with that. But just doing that, nothing else, no external equipment other than a tripod will step your videos up another level, and it'll give you some flexibility. Right now I'm sitting in my office and my camera is sitting on a tripod. It gives me the added flexibility of being able to record a stable, professional looking video just from my office and with one additional piece of equipment. With that, you're still doing audio and editing on your phone. Now the third setup. This is where you're starting to step it up. You're starting to invest a little more money in this. You've got your phone, you've got a tripod, but you've got an external microphone that plugs into your phone somehow. And there's all different versions of this. I'll share some examples of it on the screen that you can look at. There's some that, in my case, I've got an iPhone, plug into the lightning port. I've got one of those. That's what I use. It works really well if I'm just recording audio with my phone. There's some that'll plug into the headphone jack, like a little lavalier mic that'll plug into the headphone jack. You can use that, and man, that'll get you great audio. And what that does is it helps isolate the audio more. It helps isolate the voice more. Whereas if you're just using your phone's microphone, which is not bad, but it'll pick up more background noise. It'll pick up the air conditioner running in the background, the cars driving by, the kids playing in the other room. But if you've got a dedicated microphone, it's able to focus more of that audio, and it'll be more of just your voice coming through, and it'll sound a lot more professional. So again, for setup number 3, you've got a tripod and you've got some kind of external microphone plugged into your phone. You're still just using your phone for video, and you can still just edit on your phone. That video editing app that you use for setup number 2, well, you can use it for setup number 3 as well. Now let's go to setup number 4. Here is where we are getting serious. Here is where you have something a lot like the setup I am using right now. I am using a mirrorless digital SLR on a tripod. It's a Fujifilm X-T30 shooting in 4K video. And that's what my video source is for this right now. Now, if you want to do something like this, you are going to make an investment in a camera of, probably $400 or $500 on the low end, and you can go way up from there. But it gives you a higher quality video. It gives you more ability to kind of edit and tweak it. And the lenses that are on these cameras give you a sharper image and better isolation from the background. You can't really see it here because the wall's right behind me, but if I was outside, the background would look a lot more blurry. My face would be clear, but my background would be blurry, and that's a pretty cool professional looking effect. For the second aspect of this, for your audio, you're using either an external microphone or an audio capture device. Right now I'm recording on a Zoom H6. Just out of frame right down here, sitting on a tripod, is my Zoom H6. And it's relatively close to me, so the audio sounds good, it sounds crisp, it sounds clear, it's kind of isolated from everything else that's going on in this building. And that gives you a very nice, professional looking product. But here's the caveat. Not only are you investing in a camera and some sort of audio capture device, you've got to have something to edit the video that's going to handle a larger file size, like a 4K, which what I'm recording. You don't have to do 4K, but even like a 1080p, a full HD video, you need to have a computer or something like an iPad Pro. So with that iPad Pro, you're talking, or a computer, you're talking about a pretty significant outlay of expenses. But again, This is like way down the list. This is number 4 on a list of options of streaming for you. Just start with the phone in your pocket. Now, I want to offer one bonus to you that'll really set your videos apart, and that's lighting. Just off camera here is a light that, just a LED ring light that I bought. And they can run anywhere from 40, 50, 60 bucks. But what that gives you is a steady light. It allows you to kind of know what settings are going to be on your camera. It keeps if you're shooting with your phone, you notice how sometimes if you go from a lighter space to a darker space, your phone kind of adjusts the lighting settings on it so that things stay bright and in focus. If you've got a light source that you control, man, that'll make your videos stand out. If I was just shooting with my office lights in here, it'd be fine, but it'd cast some weird shadows. It wouldn't be as bright. It wouldn't be as clear. If you're shooting outside, you can just make use of natural light. Or if you've got a big window even, open that window up, set your camera up so that you're facing the window so that you have good natural light. Lighting will make a big difference for you as you're considering getting into the streaming game. Now, I know that what we talked about today, it might seem overwhelming if you are not familiar with it, if you've never really thought about it that much. But the bottom line is you can start right now with the phone you have in your pocket. And if you want to step it up just a little bit from there for a small investment, you can get a tripod. And that'll open up a world of opportunities for you. But here's the thing. Many of our folks are online. Now, even our younger soldiers, they'll be like, oh, Facebook's for the old people, this, that, and the other. That's still where their eyeballs are. And so if you want to engage people and meet them where they're at, you need to start thinking about and developing some sort of online presence. It doesn't replace in-person ministry. It's a supplement to it. It helps enhance that. It helps open future doors for conversation and ministry. And doing it well, doing it with excellence. And you can do it with excellence even if you're just holding your phone with your hand. It's more than just a matter of the content you're putting out. But if you really want to step it up and go to the next level, get yourself a tripod, get yourself a microphone. If you want to go even beyond that, get yourself a dedicated camera, an audio capture device, and a light. And man, you can really get into this and really put out some great stuff targeted towards your unit and your soldiers and their needs. And the bonus to that is it'll reach people even beyond your own formation. So thank you for watching. I'm going to try and get a couple more videos put out over the next couple months dealing with some of the more technical aspects like with JAG or with the PAO and some pointers from them to help avoid getting into trouble. But for the scope of this video, I just wanted to talk to you about getting started because sometimes that can seem overwhelming, and I want you to feel confident getting your toe into the water and starting to wade into this virtual world of ministry that coronavirus has kind of forced upon us. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for us. It's time for us to step boldly into this medium and use it as chaplains for our religious support mission. Thanks for watching. Go in peace.